Okay, we're working on the new carriage house, working on putting in windows today. So some of the tools we pulled out, started off with the little bevel sliding saw to cut some new studs for the spacing on the windows. Started pulling tools in, using them as needed. So some of the tools we used, a little sawzall to cut out some of the studs and the wallboard. Use a little oscillating multi-tool. So we trimmed some of the old studs out, some nails poking out from the top plate. Let's see down here. Hammer. K-bar. Nope, we didn't use K-bar. Little carpenter square. Pulled out the Japanese pole saw, didn't need that. But what we had to do was these studs are on the 16-inch centers. So we wanted the center window centered. So we ended up having to cut out a couple of studs there. Had to put in new studs on either side of the window to carry that load from the top plate down to the sole plate. And then we framed inside of the window with 2x4s. And so this is the center window, and the one to the left. We've got one more to go that's going to go on the right. And there it is there. So we're also, they're working on getting us permanent power out here in the meantime. Ran out extension cord. We're able to plug in these shop lights, get those going, and charge a few batteries. Let's see outside. Look at that beautiful tree over there. Woo. And a few more turning back here. So what we got going outside, we've got them taped in. Use Pella windows, use the Pella window tape around the frame first and then around the windows themselves. And get some, probably it's 2.5-inch trim to match what's on the carriage house. So we'll have to see if they sell a 1x3. If not, I can rip something down. But outside, let's see, we needed our, started off trying to use this drill. We had to cut some holes because some of the electrical wiring's already in, so we had to cut a little slot for the stud to fit over that. We started off with the really dull spade bit. It was all burned up, didn't work, so we borrowed Skipper's ratcheting brace bit, put a nice auger on there, and that cut the cleanest holes you'll ever see. I don't know why I even bother with this other thing. Switched to protective gear. We had our glasses, our gloves, our mask. Those of you that like the N95 for shop work, because the exhaust valve doesn't fog up your glasses, we are starting to find those back in stock again. I think we ordered them online through 3M. A couple of levels, checking the level of the framing, then the level of the window. Screwdriver, thought I was going to have to do a little adjustment, didn't have to. Impact driver to drive the star drive screws that we used to put in the studs, and then the window. Here's the Pella tape and a jigsaw. After we cut the hole for the wire to go through, then we cut a little notch from the side of the stud into that hole, and then we took the little piece of cutout wood and put it back in after everything was in place. So on these windows, taping them in, what we did, if you can imagine the window not installed yet, we go in and we tape the bottom and overlap as you go up, and then we taped the sides going up, and then we got to the top, we taped across the top of the framing, put the windows in, and then we repeated the process. So take your tape across the bottom, overlapping, go up the sides, and then overlapping at the top. We'll put the trim around that, and then we'll caulk around that, and should be sealed up pretty good. Plus we got the overhang of the roof to help keep water from getting on the top of that. I think we might use a PVC trim because it's probably not going to rot. A couple more shop boxes that are migrating their way out to the carriage house. See, so far, I'm going to try to keep boat stuff on the right with the rudders and dagger boards for our cow courts, sunfish and sailfish. There's the O'Day day sailor, and then some of the canoe parts. In the back will be spares, yard art type of items. And then on the, let's see, as we're spun around the other way, this will be the starboard side. It's going to be mostly shop tools. So far we got table saw, planer, bandsaw, drill press in here. And what we're hoping to do, and here's the little nice little stand that came with this bandsaw we picked up. And this little tool tote we just picked up from the wooden boat store, wax canvas. It would be a pretty nice piece of gear. Already started using it and getting sawdust all over it. So the look that we're going for in here, trying to get some of this junk cleared off. These little gorilla carts make great catch-alls for projects. We've used them to rebuild 250-foot long dock, seawall, or just to haul mulch around the yard. It's great stuff. So let's put y'all down for just a minute while I move this other box. So stand by for you. New numbers for the boats. So what we're hoping, the effect we're going for when we get these windows in, is something akin to what we saw in a lot of boat shops, especially the John Gardner Small Boat Workshop up in Mystic Seaport. That's what we're liking. So we can take our workbench and put it right up against there and have all of that natural light coming in when we're working on whatever it is we happen to be working on. And this is I'm pretty happy with this. First time I've seen it that I knew where the top plate of the by that, for those not familiar, talking about this piece right here, I didn't want to cut into that, so I knew the window had to be below that, framed in, needed room for 2x4. So you have a surface to screw to from the outside. We also had a little bit of roof overhang, so we guessed as best we could, came down about 2.5 inches, hoping that with this 3-foot window on a 6-foot wall, we would have, I was thinking this frame might be a little bit below, but as it turned out, it's like almost flush here. So we're pretty darn happy with that. We're gonna wrap it up now and go watch the Cowboys beat the Chiefs, and we'll talk to y'all later.